What an amazing trip we just had, from summiting Mount Ararat to flying hot air balloons over Cappadocia to exploring the underground cities. And it would have been just perfect if it wasn't for one thing: Turkish Airlines. And it's all started from the moment we arrived into Istanbul. We had a relatively simple itinerary. So from Istanbul we were supposed to fly to Agri. From Agri we were supposed to fly back to Istanbul, having few hours to meet our friends in Istanbul, and then from there on we were supposed to fly to Cappadocia, spend a few days in Cappadocia, come back to Istanbul, and then fly back to our home country. So upon arrival to Istanbul, we transferred to a domestic terminal, checked in into Turkish Airlines, and went to the gate. And surprise, surprise, the flight was delayed by 2 hours. No explanation given, no reason given. The simple thing we've heard is that the pilot was late. Well, surprisingly, I'm not sure how the pilot can be late to a flight, but okay, could happen. We spent great time in Agri, summited Mount Ararat, and it was time for us to depart to Cappadocia. We arrived at Agri in time for our 11:20 flight from Agri to Istanbul, only to find out that the flight was cancelled. No explanation given. Talking to Turkish Airlines, they said they've notified us. Well, I have not received any notification either on my mobile or in the email, even though we have booked directly with Turkish Airlines. We got the tickets in my email box, and I also got an SMS notifying that the flights were booked. So Turkish Airlines' explanation was for not sending us any notification about flight cancellation is that they don't have our details. Well, surprise, surprise again, they do, since they have sent the ticket when we booked it. So sitting there, arguing with Turkish Airlines, we managed to get rebooked for another flight later that day. So we departed Agri at 3:25, which was a waste of about 4 hours sitting in the airport where there is absolutely nothing to do. Upon arrival, to Istanbul, obviously I had to cancel all the meetings with friends that we were planning to. We rushed to our next flight to Cappadocia. And again, to my great surprise, the flight was delayed. First, we were told the plane was not ready. And we were sitting in front of the gate for over an hour waiting for the plane to be ready. Once we got on the plane, this thing was here. And that took another hour for someone to come in and fix it. Well, and surprisingly, the fix took less than 30 seconds. All he had to do is just plug that drawer back in. So that's another 2 hours wasted. And then on a flight back from Cappadocia to Istanbul, thank God there wasn't a major delay because we had the international connection to a different airline, but there was still a delay of about 20-25 minutes. So in total, if I look at it in a simple terms, we had 2 hours delay in Istanbul on the way to Agri. We had 4 hours delay plus flight cancelled and all the stress in Agri to Istanbul. Then we had another 2 hours delay from Istanbul to Cappadocia, and a short delay of 25 minutes from Cappadocia back to Istanbul. So out of 4 flights, all flights were delayed, and one was cancelled. So the total, we spent over 8 hours waiting for flights due to incompetence of the airline and delays. That's a day. That's literally a day of the holiday, which we could have been doing something else. We simply wasted by sitting at the airports. So thank you, Turkish Airlines, for killing a day of our holidays, well-deserved holidays. So for anyone else looking to fly on Turkish Airlines, consider that you probably will be late based on our experience. And then so, my huge recommendation, if you are traveling on Turkish Airlines and have connections, make sure you have plenty of time between connections because there are delays. And simple, while we were waiting in Cappadocia for flight back, here's the announcement, another flight, Turkish Airlines flight got delayed by 2 hours. If you are on holidays in Turkey, my recommendation is probably do rent a car. Save you a lot of stress, and at least you're not sitting at the airport and you can drive through the countryside and enjoy the views. Would be much better. So in my view is Turkish Airlines, you're really disappointed. And on that note, I'll end the video. And anyone found it helpful, give us a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some cool videos from the Turkish trip, which are coming up shortly as well. Thank you and have a good day.